Okay, welcome to session 3. I'm echoing through someone, I'm probably Rogue.
Rogue.
Of No Peace Until Death, Season 3, Session 3. And we have some of our old familiar peeps, and then we have a new Season 3 character, Rothmere, who has been around since Season 1, so oldie but a goodie. And let's get started. The Black Company has been camped at the old ruins outside Aelisburg for 2 days now. There were no cultists or monsters, at least not that they had seen. Morazzo and a few others were scouting, searching for anything strange or unnatural. Meanwhile, Jute, Devnet, and their new friend, Kraith, stayed behind. Well, the rest of the some odd dozen mercenaries, too. The loot was from town, seemed to be keeping people satisfied for now. There were fresh provisions, a little coin, and several barrels of ale. But a company in the wilds for too long grew restless. There were no whores or new people to meet, fight, or listen to tales in taverns. This was Temeria, after all, only 30 miles south of Vizima, waiting like a huge open gash to let any prick inside. But Jute had other plans. Whatever they were, though, he wasn't eager to share them. What is it? Sorry. The rod in his pocket was left unseen, but alas, Kraith dreamed of it, the tall, spiraling towers he saw through the chaos. He wondered what the place was. It reminded him of childhood. It reminded him of the days past where he was scolded for an undisciplined mind. He was more eager in the training yard than making intricate motions with his little pinky. Up, down, right, pause, up, right. Ridiculous. Devnet was on the road again, this time with Jute instead of Zavis. It had been strange, her adventures with the dwarf and Irie and others from time to time. It didn't turn out like she expected. Her one arm told her that. What happened to the halflings of Bramptonshire she didn't know, or Irie's blind sister. Maybe it was better she forgot. It seemed a lifetime ago, and monsters poured out of the north, and now whatever the hells this was. Was she destined to do witchering work for the rest of her days? They might be short if that was the case. What did anyone know about killing monsters except monster killers? In the south, Rothmere had been on the run. He killed a few nymphs, which happened to be his favorite pastime. But it left him in a spot of trouble. Straight north he went, through Brugge and then into Temeria, and north and north and north. They couldn't find him here. Even if they did, Temeria would fuck him up, right? They always did. The black ones didn't learn, kept slamming their heads into the northern kingdom's rock-hard cocks and bouncing off. Fuck those assholes, huh? A knife can make a living up here just as well as in the south. And... We're going to start with Rothmere. Give me a sec. Let's do this one. Rothmere. You have been heading north for some time. Only hours ago, you ran into a patrol here in northern Temeria. There was a young knight on his horse and 2 bannermen at his side. They claimed to be nobles from this land, the La Valette's family. You weren't sure you knew who they were or what they were about, but they were on horses and they were heavily armed. The boy, perhaps 16, asked you if you wished to come with them. It didn't seem like a request so much as an order. You see, my friend, we can't let vagabonds and skilled men such as yourself wander our roads. We'll just have a quiet chat before we move on, shall we? Before we let you go. Perhaps with some coin in your purse. Rogue, are you muted? Rogue.
I wonder if he messed with something when he had that echo.
Yeah. Let me ping him.
Dumbfounded, Rothmere stood still.
He just dropped off.
There you go.
Can you hear me, Rogue?
Damn it. I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you, but can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
Ah.
Did you hear
Alright,
what I was?
so-
Did you hear what I was saying to Rothmere?
I did.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
So he, Rothmere tries to appear brave and, kind of his hood on. He's probably dirty from the road. And, he says, of course, it will do well to put some coin in my pouch.
Well, the law Valettes, we pay well. We've been overseers of these lands here for nigh on 2 centuries. You would do well to stay with me, or at least, perhaps we'll have an audition for your skills. What are your skills anyway, besides stalking through the woods?
What, are they wearing a symbol on their tabard?
Yeah, he does have one.
What, do I recognize it?
Do a lore check. Actually, I would say instead of a lore check for heraldry, I would say do a stewardship check. That's under social or under influence. Not quite. Yeah, you can't get any better than that. Yeah, you're not sure. You're not from this area, but he does have a tabard on with a sigil. Let me see.
I would say that what he knows they're not associated with Nilfgaard.
Oh, they're definitely not Nilfgaardian. They don't
Okay.
dress. Nilfgaardians have a pretty specific way to dress and such, and you're far away from there anyway. So, yeah, you would not expect them to be Nilfgaardian. No.
So he'll definitely just gamble with it, and hopefully they have no friendship towards him. And he says, I've practiced enough killing the Nilfgaardians.
Well, those are good practice dummies to slice their throats or cut them down with swords or lances or arrows or spears. They'll never stop being a nuisance to the north unless we destroy them, I fear.
Wise words.
I'm glad we agree. But first, La Valette needs to put its own house in order, as does Temeria. I fear that the king and his ill state will let this country, this kingdom, collapse without the rightful heir taking the throne.
Now, perhaps that I could help you. Not that I have much choice, but if you're willing to give me coin and someone to kill, then I'm your man.
I'm always looking for aid. And I have money to spend, as I had said.
And Rothmere nods, and he just doesn't say much more. He keeps following.
Yeah, You keep falling and are going a certain direction, and there's like a clop, 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 clop as a horse comes up from behind you. You see the knight turn and wheel his horse around and meet him, this other man on the road, and he nods and he turns back to you. Rothmere, this way. It looks like there's a mercenary company set up not far from here. You don't know them, do you?
No, I'm afraid not.
Well, neither do I, and those that impede upon my lands certainly should be scolded at the very least. Do not understand what mercenaries are doing in my land. We will find out soon, though. Stay close to me and have your blade ready.
Aye, sir.
And they give you they give you kind of like a horse, not a great horse, but probably one of their pack horses. They just shift over some of their stuff and give it to you. And let me switch the scene here. Sometime before, during this conversation, or before, Jute, Devnet, and Kraith sit at camp, waiting for Morazzo and a few others to return. The dozen or so men sitting about with food and ale from the town that has been completely looted and burnt to the ground. And I'll let you guys roleplay amongst yourself.
Jute sat on a salvaged bench around the fire, gnawing on some salted pork, and helping himself to some of the ale the town of Aliceburg had kindly donated after it had been decimated by whatever curse had befallen them. Next to him was Dev. They were sharing stories of old and how much he enjoyed having them around again. It had been too long, and they had parted ways after meeting ever so briefly, what seemed like forever ago, on that coastal town when she was still with the Witcher, Irie, and I believe Zavis. Since then, he has rebuilt the Black Company, and this is where they find him now, as he sits and speaks with his new comrade-at-arms, Kraith, and passing the time.
Dev is seated on the ground near the fire, trying to keep up the cheerful banter with Jute, but she has her hood pulled far over her head in a familiar way that bespeaks too much drink the day before. She has the fondness for drink of a soldier, but not exactly the constitution to keep up, and she's paying for it. She glances over at Jude eating that salted pork, and her face turns a little green.
Kraith, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Kraith, for his part, just has been making small talk with Jute and Devnet, and he likely will be sharing in some of the ale as well. Before he took a nap, he brought out a pewter mug from his satchel. You can see an emblem on it. It's kind of a relief carving of two doves that seem to be fighting, oddly, over an olive branch. And he's sitting on the crate near Jute, and as they make talk, like the wind will shift and it will blow in Kraith's face. And then if anybody sat around the campfire knows, as soon as you change positions, the wind will shift again and the smoke will blow in your face again. So he is doing that and listening to Jute and Devnet have their conversation, trying to pick up any clues about their past history. They seem to be quite comfortable with each other.
As they're talking, Jute kind of pulls out the Witcher's sword and kind of shows it to Kraith. And this is the kind of trust Dev has in me. She gifted this to me quite some time ago. I was grateful for it. But the story about how they got it, now that's a story worth telling.
That's
Oh,
a good story.
Well, she kind of points to the two scabbards at her side. I had some extra. Ran across a couple of witchers, and they didn't seem too keen on holding on to them. She just shrugs at that. And when you're fighting with someone, you got to make sure that if they're going to have your back, they're going to be able to be effective at it, I think.
I agree. Treasure found is treasure deserved, at least. Well, that's what my old family used to say.
Aye, aye. I found it fair and square on their dead bodies.
I bet you did, Devnet. But you gave an arm and a leg for it. Or at least an arm.
She kind of, her expression darkens a little bit. She says, weren't no witchers what took my arm. That was somewhat else entirely. That were 10 blades.
Ah, a story I'd dearly like to hear sometime. But perhaps that can wait for a dark and stormy night, or maybe it's best told over glasses of wine in a brightly lit hall with minstrels and jesters about.
Definitely not a tale for a hungover morning.
Aye. And here, have some of this. And he kind of pulls a strip of the pork off and dips it in a thing of grease.
No, nay. She just kind of like puts blinders up with her hands over her eyes. Stop it now, or you're gonna be seeing what I ate last night.
That'll do you well, my lady. We'll firm up the belly.
What was that scuff?
Lady, I've known you far too long.
Well, perhaps he senses the nobility within me.
Jute rolls his eyes at that. I'm not quite sure about that, but I do know whenever you're away from me that bad stuff happens, and he kind of gestures to her arm and up towards her ears that are cropped down from what they originally were. Seems whenever you're with the Black Company, though, not a hair on that pretty head of yours is hurt.
I will. She kind of reaches up and touches the tips of her ears. Sometimes I do regret it, but... She shrugs. All in all, I don't have much to connect me with the elven side, and so I don't give it much thought. What's done is done.
As you guys are chatting, you hear a whistle in the air as an arrow is shot up above the camp. Jute, you would specifically know this is a warning shot, essentially telling you that someone's approaching or something's amiss outside of camp.
Jute, seeing the signal, kind of merriment goes away, and he quickly stands up, sheathing his sword in the back scabbard. Kraith, Dev, let's see what company we have. Seems someone's heading this way or something. Best be sharp.
Yeah, as you're getting ready, you see Sithar, who is one of your scouts, kind of run back into camp, and he points, that way. There's 4 riders approaching.
Can you see who they're with?
What do you mean? There are 4 riders.
Their colors, man. Are they displaying any banner or just approaching?
I wouldn't know a banner. I do not see anything. It is not like a large banner flying overhead. There are
Very
only
well.
4 of them. Do you wish me to shoot them down as they come?
Tempting, but let's see what they have to say first.
Nods and kind of goes over to a more concealed position as the rest of the company kind of gets up and, puts their hands on their weapons, kind of preparing at the very least. And In rides four men. At their head is a man with which gilded armor. He looks like he's maybe in his teens. He's a young man. He has two more burly, heavily armed riders at his side, and then another man on kind of a lesser horse for certain, with light armor and a cowl up over his head. And the young man stops in his horse and looks down and says, "I am Sir Bosse La Valette. These are my lands. Who are you?"
Jute kind of walks up nonchalantly, stops, crosses his arms, more of a dismissive posture. I am Jute Black, and this is the Black Company. We're a mercenary band making our way through these lands.
Where do you plan on going?
I suppose we'll go wherever there's coin to be made, hence the mercenary part.
Any jobs that you've done recently? Anyone in Temeria? Any La Valettes, perhaps?
La Valettes, I can't say that I have, but I was just at Aliceburg recently and killed the manticore that was residing here in these ruins.
I thought that to be a jest.
If you want to see its head, I had it tarred to preserve it before I can get it encased in bronze. It is quite the beast, but I managed to slay it easy enough.
Are you a witcher, then?
That I am not. I just happen to be good with a sword. Like everybody here in the Black Company.
Interesting. Well, as I was talking to my new friend Rothmere here, and he waves over to Rothmere, I do have need of some mercenaries.
Oh, hey, Rothmere! I'm just kind of passed out.
He blinks.
She kind of waves, and she grabs, some knives out, and she kind of waves them in the air. Remember me, Akinsia's Tower.
He pulls his hood off and
We killed, some tree ladies.
he smiles. Big crooked smile. Says, I do remember this. This one.
Hey, he's almost as good with knives as I am.
You killed 3 ladies?
Well, they were, tree lady. Trees that looked like ladies, but, I told you this story. You never listen.
No, I don't know what time it is. What? Oh, trees. I remember now. Yes. As you can see, Sir Bosse, I have assembled quite the team. Not only do I kill manticores, but these two can kill tree ladies. Most dangerous.
Well then, what I have for you seems like it would be quite easy. So I won't pay you as much as I might for someone less skilled. It would be easy for you, right?
You pay for the experience that we possess, not the time or the ease that it takes us to complete the task.
He's kind of smiling. I know, I'm only kidding. Regardless, I do have a serious business for you. If you would allow me to unhorse and approach, we can speak in a more civilized manner, man to man.
Of course. Here, sit around this campfire. You are welcome. We don't have anything that would be fitting for a lord such as yourself, but we will make do.
He waves. Oh, it's no mind. And he hops off his horse and nods to his men who do the same, and he will walk over there. What are the rest of you doing?
Rothmere jumps off and tethers the new mount and He'll walk over and smile to DevNet and go to maybe shake hands if if that's prudent with DevNet.
Yeah. Shake hand, maybe.
Clasp one arm.
Yeah. Your blade still sharp, Rothmere?
Ever is my tongue. It's been some time.
Aye, it has. Much has changed. But you look well. Well enough.
And he seems surprised by this and nods and he says, as do you. Oh, do you have some drink?
What do you think? She kind of collars over to, one of her buddies who's in the company to bring some ale over. And he does, and she pours some into just a spare copper mug and hands it to him. I can't guarantee the quality, but we've got plenty of it.
For the mug.
Alright, it's a pleasure. Thank you much. It's been some time on the road, running north, until I met these fine gentlemen.
They don't seem your usual type, but wherever the money is, I suppose.
And he nods as he's looking over to Boosie. He says, if they're out of range or ear range or whatever.
Yeah, they can be. That's fine.
And if Boosie's busy talking to Jute, he kind of leans in and says, well, the meeting was more for survival, I suppose. For a moment, I thought that they would try to take my life.
Aye, these nobles, they can't be trusted. Always take your pay half first. Don't let them say they'll pay you all after, or else you'll have empty pockets every time.
They probably thought I was some kind of criminal or something.
Psh! Why would they think that?
I have
Ridiculous.
no idea.
Perhaps if you're in need of employment when all this is over, you can talk to Jute there. I can put in a good word. I've got some pull with the man. And life in the company's not so bad.
The company? Oh,
Aye, the Black Company. This lot.
I like the name too. Sounds mysterious.
Well,
Perhaps I should hang around then.
see if you take a liking to it anyway.
He smiles, takes a sip.
Maybe we ought to pay attention to what this bossy character wants from us.
Yes.
I mean, no doubt it's just killing someone.
As you say that, he approaches Jute and Kraith and reaches out and pulls off a gold pouch from his belt and says, "I do have a job for you and your men, if they would accept it."
What do you have in mind?
Well, there's a band of ne'er-do-wells. We have tracked them to a cave in the woods not far from here. The thief is a woman who has stolen a parchment with the seal of my family's crest. It must be recovered.
Who's this woman and why did she steal it?
Oh, a distant cousin, unfortunately. Could not say why she stole it. Perhaps to sell it, or give it to political enemies. The parchment is important.
And what do you want me to do with her once we retrieve this parchment?
Well, you could try to sneak in and recover it and return, or, well, put them to the sword. It does not matter much to me.
This is quite a distant cousin, then. And in my experience, the more distant the family, the more of a nuisance they are. So you will have no care for any damages that may be done to them.
They should have thought of the ramifications before they stole what is rightfully mine.
And I suppose this lass is not by herself. She has
No,
men?
she has a few men. It should be no trouble for some of you. But I do warn, if you take the whole company, I do not believe you will be able to reach them. They have scouts in the woods, and they will run. That is why we need soft feet to find a path through the woods and sneak up on them. That is my
Great
suggestion, at least.
Yeah, Kraith's eyes kind of drift over to Rothmere, which he has not seen yet, but he looks like the shifty sort. But we may have just come across an old friend that can help with just that. Jute, is that gentleman over there that's cloaked a friend of yours? Devnet seems to be quite familiar.
Jute looks over and Kraith can kind of see like a almost inherent jealousy in his eyes before he settles. I'm not familiar with this man. I know nothing of him, but if Dev vouches for him, I suppose that's good enough for now.
I see. I also noticed that twinkle in your eye, Jude. And that twinkle was doubled in Devnet's eye as she gazed across that handsome, mysterious, cloaked man.
He's clearly unhappy with his assessment, but well, we'll see.
I care not. As long as he is competent with a blade and skillful on his feet, I'll kiss him when this is done with.
Save that for your own counsel. Sir Boosie, I suppose we talk about the name of this woman and your payment. And how much?
How much would you ask for such a task?
What's a reasonable
I'd say, I don't know, it's kind of like hand-waved for me, but, let's say,
500.
500, yeah, let's do 500. And
Tell him you want one step above reasonable.
yeah, you can negotiate it, for sure. 500 would be average, put it that way.
So he kind of sits back, mulls it over. Well, what you might not know, Sir Boosie, is I'm one of the greatest swordsmen in the Northern Realms. So for that, I would probably say 750.
Seems a bit high, don't you think?
Excuse me.
You can do a persuasion, or I would.
I'll do persuasion.
Yeah, you can do persuasion. If you get a challenging, I would. Ooh, not quite. 750 is a bit high for what I'm asking you to do. 600, no more. 300 now and 300 when you've finished.
300 now, 300 when we deliver the parchment, and future considerations for any work you might need.
I will need more mercenaries, for certain, for jobs similar to this. I think that perhaps this could be the start of a long friendship.
Indeed.
He waves to one of the men-at-arms who comes over, and he goes through his a pack on the horse and grabs like two actually probably like a small, very small like chest, and walks it over and hands it to Bossy, who in turn hands it over to Jute. That should be about 300, give or take. You can count it, and if we're delinquent some, then I will fill the coffers with what I have in my pouch. And if it's over, well, it is over. He just shrugs. He doesn't seem to care about the extra coin.
I'm sure it's all there. Otherwise, why would you have a chest there about that amount? But do you have a map of this area?
I do not have a map on me, but I can give you fairly correct directions. This is my home for all of my life. I know this place almost like the back of my hand. To the northeast, there is a trail that leads into the woods. Soon after, it was split off into smaller paths, mostly not beaten down, but you should be able to follow them. But you're going to have to find a quiet way forward. I'm sure she has scouts keeping eyes on the main trails, and then go from there. That is why I do not suggest you take your entire company, or she will spot you for certain, and then they will get away. They must not get away, Jute.
Understood. Is there a long way around the company can take that if I do scare them, I can flush them into the waiting arms of my company?
It is heavily wooded that way. Very few openings. They won't be able to flee directly north, at least, unless they cross the Pontar. That is the only thing that we have going for us, unless they already have boats ready to cross north.
So perhaps the company can go up and search the riverbank for any signs of hidden escape, the boats or what have you. Pay attention to those areas while me and a select few individuals head into the trails towards this cave.
Very well, seems acceptable to me. Beware of Redanians on the coast. They're likely to just shoot you. Redania and Temeria are still somewhat hostile.
We're just mercenaries. There's no quarrel with us, but I will advise them to be on the lookout for any patrols that are looking or itching for a fight. But yes, that sounds fair enough. We will be departing in the morning, and then we will return with this parchment.
Very well. My keep is a day's ride east of here. We will be waiting.
Then we have an agreement. And he kind of holds his hand out.
He looks down at your hand and pauses for a moment and finally reaches out and gives it a shake. And then he immediately turns and says, Rothmere.
Aye, sir.
Perhaps you will stay with these folk. You seem to know the woman, and help them in this task.
Indeed, it would be my pleasure.
Very well. Here is a few gold coins for your trouble. And he kind of gets out 5 gold and shuffles it over to you. Dumps it out into your palm.
Fred looks at it for a second and nods. Most gracious, sir.
Yes. Well, I will leave this horse with you. It is little account. Me and my men will return to the keep. I hope to see you with them later.
Good luck on your travels.
He nods and walks up and climbs up onto his horse and gives kind of a flourish, flinging his. He's got a green cape on behind him, and begins kicking the horse along the road, and they head back the way they came, leaving you behind.
Fucking cunts in their shiny armor.
As he leaves, Dev kind of stands up and trots over to Jute. So who did he say we were killing?
Oh, he didn't specifically say kill, but I suppose if someone's willing to steal a parchment from him, they will want to hang on to it with their lives, or at least the lives of their men. Some distant kin of his. No matter. I think what matters is that we're able to sneak up on them without alerting them to our presence. Otherwise, I'll have Morazzo and Scyther take them and swing wide to the river and hopefully intercept them if we scare them off.
I think that's a good idea. Some sort of safety net is preferable. If they squirt out the back door, they'll only land from the frying pan into the fire. Although, I don't plan to let them escape, Jute.
I
It's
like the
the-
attitude.
It's the woman that's got the parchment, right?
Nice.
That's what he says.
Well, perhaps we can find a way to separate some of our crew away from him, distract them mayhap, beforehand in case things get hairy.
True. We could maybe sneak up on them when they're sneaking. Much easier to kill them when they aren't able to defend themselves. So tell me about this Rothmere, and he kind of gives a dismissive wave to him. What
I
are
don't-
you good for?
I don't know him well, but he's a good man with a blade. Yeah, I met him briefly when Zav and I rescued Akinsia from her tower. You know, there was that weird elven sorcerer. I never really understood what he was all about, but he had all sorts of creatures in that tower he'd created with his dark magics, and Rothmere, he acquitted himself quite well.
And do you trust him?
Trust him? Well, I'm not sure I trust anyone but you, Jute. But I think he'll do.
Huh.
I was impressed with his skill, and he had my back during the fight, and what else can you ask for a companion at arms?
Well, I can think of a few things, but when it comes to Rothmere, I suppose if you trust his blade and you don't think he'll put a knife in our back, then we'll see how he does.
Well.
Seems
I don't think he'll put a knife in my back. And she just kind of smiles.
Jude gives this unhappy harumph, and well then, suppose we should rest up for the evening and pack up at dawn and head out. I'll talk to Scyther and Morazzo and give the scouts and the rest of the men their orders.
Aye.
You go enjoy the rest of the evening, but don't get too drunk on this piss that they call
know.
wine.
If you see me going too far, take it away. I hit that point and I don't have any sense anymore. Not enough sense to stop.
Well, it's not always a bad thing.
She grins and kind of nudges him with her shoulder and says, "All right, I'll go look for Scyther."
Thank you. And Jude kind of goes over to Rothmere and, well, welcome to the Black Company. Hopefully, you live up to the reputation Dev seems to have given you in your ability with a blade. Tell me, are there any other gifts or skills that you possess that I should know about?
He takes a sip from the drink, and he says, I'm not too bad at sneaking around and cutting throats for coin.
Well, sounds like you were made for something like this.
I suppose so. Perhaps perhaps I've just been lucky this far. Managed to stay alive.
Well, we'll find out soon enough if it's luck or skill.
And he nods. He says it's a pleasure to meet your acquaintance, Rothmere. And what was your name?
I am Jute Black, commander of the Black Company.
And well met, Jute.
I'll introduce you to a few of the others, and he waves Kraith over. This is Kraith Everdale, a fellow swordsman and sometimes mage.
You put that quite mildly, Jute. Well met, Mothmere. Seems like we're going to be doing some business together.
Good to meet you, Grace.
Likewise. I have recently fought alongside Devnet and Jute. I find them most trustworthy companions and quite adept with the blade. And if Devnet speaks highly of you, well, I take her word as bond. We were in a sticky situation, a bloody situation, a, shall I say, monstrous situation not 2 nights ago. But we all escaped with our hides.
I heard something like a manticore, was it?
Ah, that was Jute and Devnet did that on their own. We were faced with, I don't think such dastardly things have names. Unnamed monstrosities. Things that cause children to cry out in the night and their mothers to weep. It was all teeth, tentacles, hide. But we killed it all the same.
You're a mage, I hear, huh? What kind of magic?
He kind of holds out his hands. And you can see the kind of area around him shiver a little bit. I consider myself a swordsman first and foremost. I never cared much for intricate signs spelt with the pinky finger and index finger. But I do use the source to augment my skills with my blades here. Seems like you'll be seeing me in action sooner rather than later. I can also run.
Well, that's a good skill.
I suppose we should get to work.
We'll head out in first light and track these individuals down. I expect it to be a long trek through these poor trails and hilly terrain.
I want to spend a little time trying to make a hangover cure for DevNet. But since Kraith is the worst mage ever, it will probably be awful, but provide good roll.
You could do a craft roll. Yeah, you can do a craft roll.
Try this craft beer.
All right, just for fun.
We'll make this a mundane difficulty of 10. So
Okay.
give you a shot at it.
What is that under, you think? Social?
No, craft is under mental.
Mental. Here we go. Hey!
Yeah, you make you've had a few hangovers in your day. You have a little poultice that you've made before.
Devnet, I spent some time trouncing around the base of this blasted tower. I've mostly found entrails and blood and some sort of poisonous mushroom, but I cobbled this together. And he holds out a flask with this dark blue liquid. It doesn't taste like much, but it'll get rid of your hangover.
She grimaces. Entrails and blood and mushrooms. You really know how to sell it.
Yeah, the flask is like has dried blood on it and shit.
She takes it from him, kind of holds it between two fingers and says, "Are you serious? I'm supposed to drink this."
Hey, it's all about trust, my lady.
She looks around for Jute to see if he's, like, set her up, but sees him, like, far away talking to someone else, and she's kind of just narrows her eyes and says, "This better not be some sort of a joke." And she takes off she sniffs it for a second and then says, "Oh, that didn't help. Well, bottoms up." And she tries to chug it down without tasting it.
Like I said, it doesn't taste like much. Kind of like black licorice set in the sun for 3 days and mixed with old bacon grease.
Oh. She puts a hand on her stomach. Oh.
But go sleep for 30 minutes. You'll find yourself waking a bit more refreshed without that sour taste in your stomach, or your head feels like it's stuffed with wool.
Well, I'll try that. It hasn't come back up, and that's a good sign. And she kind of claps him on the shoulder. "If this works, you're going to be a popular man in this camp, Graith Everdale."
I'll check on you in 30 minutes to make sure you're not dead.
She grins and then kind of wanders off, lays down under a tree, and covers her eyes.
Yeah, you end up falling asleep for a while, and when you do wake up, you feel a lot better.
Yeah, she goes around the camp then, telling everybody about Kraith's miracle cure. It's a common problem in the Black Company.
Anything else you guys want to do before the next day?
I think Rothmir's sharpening his blade by the fire and checking over his gear and equipment. It's been so long since I've checked out all this stuff. I'm copying stuff from the old game.
Jute basically finishes the evening handing out orders, ensuring everything is understood and what they're doing. And then once he's done with that, he retires to his pavilion for the evening to kind of, unwind before the dangerous road ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dev sits out by the fire talking to people for a while, but eventually she heads back to her tent, but then looks over at Jute's tent and shrugs and heads over to that side instead.
All right.
I just wanted him to say that. I knew it was coming.
That's the only thing.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. The next day does finally come. That's what she said. And...
Jesus Christ.
Yikes. Like it would be that wet. Come on. Dry as a bone.
She's thinking about Rothmere.
Hand you the short sword.
But man, he knows how to use it. Yeah, the next day comes, and everybody is getting ready. Sithar comes over to your tent, Jute, and kind of like gives one of those outside.
Jute exits the tent, and surprisingly, being the leader of the Black Company, is ready, despite what they may have thought otherwise. He is an early riser. What is it?
I'm just seeing what your plans were, Captain.
My plans were, as we discussed, we're gonna break camp. You and Morazo will swing east before moving north to the Pontar River.
Morazo's not back yet, as far as I know.
He isn't?
Haven't heard him. He's kinda hard not to, with his loud flapping lips.
That damn dog of his.
Yeah. That thing is, quite annoying. I wonder if we could maybe, get rid of it. But he says no. Says it's good luck.
He's not wrong. It brought us luck against the Manticore and against the cultists, and I'll be damned if the thing wasn't hurt at all during that. So, it stays. You'll get used to it.
I stepped in a turd the other day. Tiny, tiny turd.
Well, it could be worse. It could be Manticore shit.
Just... Well, then I guess we're breaking camp.
When is Morazo due back? Was there...
Anytime. It's just a convenient way to keep him away.
Well, you have your orders.
No, he starts helping break the camp and getting them ready to move.
With that, he'll allow, once his pavilion or tent has been cleared out, he'll start breaking that down as well, and then assembling Rothmere and Kraith and Dev, making sure everyone is on the same page, and kind of explaining what was information was given to him by Valette to Rothmere, and he'll kind of ask him to take point. If anybody else has any ideas or wants to lead, they can volunteer, but while I can sneak a little bit, it is not hardly something I would say I'm an expert at.
Rothmare's smoking his pipe, and
Well, I'm not half bad at the tracking, but I could take a back seat to Rothmere here.
or you and I take a point.
Actually, so is Rothmere going to scout in front, or what?
I imagine once we get on these trails, he'll lead the way to make sure we don't run into any of their lookouts.
I can't hear what anyone's saying.
Yeah, I wonder. Can you hear me?
Go out and come back and...
Can you hear me, Slip?
I can.
Oh, now I can.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Rothmere was about to speak, and I think Waterpeck was saying that Rothmere should lead out, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh,
Yep, I'm planning on Rothmere to lead the way to make sure we don't run into any of this woman's lookouts, and he will silence them as we move our way towards the cave, unless you want to join him.
Well, it's not so much that I want to join him, but It's usually my job. That's all right. He can show his mettle.
Let him prove his way, and you can make sure I don't step on any loud twigs along the way and reveal ourselves.
As if I could stop you. But, yeah. Alright, Rothmere, if you end up running into real trouble, though, make sure we know about it.
He takes a puff from the pipe and says, I'll be sure to. I'll, try to leave some bodies for you. Let you know that I've been there, if I find any.
Very well. Grace, you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be. Watching these two stealthy individuals get to work will be quite relaxing, I think. We'll know
Indeed.
where to engage after they provide us intelligence.
Yeah, the after the camp is broken, the rest of the Black Company goes to where you say to go, along the Pontar, I believe it was, to try to make sure that they don't head north across the river. And the rest of you head off into the woods to try to find a way over to the cave without being spotted. Whoever's taking point can roll stealth.
Alright. I had a couple of items here. I don't know if you wanted to cross them over or whatever, but
Well, I mean,
they were like +1 stealth because they were elven made.
yeah, but that's all like for the Witcher role playing game. I'd have to look at them and see,
Yeah.
because that doesn't exactly.
Right. Alright.
So you can go ahead and give me a stealth roll if you want.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, Rothmere, you head through the woods, and for about an hour, you don't see the other three. You come to a spot, and you look down, kind of around the bend a bit, where there's a small clearing, and you see what you think is a cave across or on a side of a small little hill. And you're looking around, and you see fairly fresh tracks, and you see no one else around, so you're pretty sure you were unseen.
Nice. No sentries.
No, you don't see anything. They appear to be either inside or gone, as far as you can tell.
But I do notice some tracks.
Yeah, there are tracks that lead in and out of the cave mouth.
That's one thing I'm probably not very good at, so I'd probably want to get Dev for that.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious, but you're not sure exactly like how many, what they're,
Mm-hmm.
But you're fairly sure you moved here without being seen for sure.
Okay. He'll probably just Rothmere, as he's creeping through, he's got his hand pretty much on his blade that's kind of in a sheath, hidden sheath, and he'll stop behind a tree, kind of wait for the others to approach. As long as he's not seeing any sentries or anything, he'll wait for them to get up there and reach him.
Yeah, I'd say eventually they do.
And
They follow your tracks, the way you've gone to keep them out of sight from anyone else.
he'll pop out from behind the tree and kind of whisper to Dev. I imagine she might be in the front.
Jesus.
Seems there are no sentries around these tracks. Could you read them, perhaps?
She tries not to jump when he, tries not to show that she was a little startled by his approach. But she kind of coughs to cover it up and says, "Oh, I'll take a look." And she says, "Show me." And she'll creep out with him to look at some of the tracks.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a survival roll.
Okay. She gets a +4 pre-roll modifier.
Yeah, Rothmere, I think your roll was even better because I think you get stealth benefits too.
She's just okay at survival.
Yeah, but it's still pretty good. So that would be a hard success. So you notice there's a mix of boots and horse tracks, and you think the horses have been led into the cave. You think that the most recent tracks all go in, and just a couple come out, and they go off kind of in different directions in the woods, which you assume are sentries or spies that you've probably made your way around, thanks to Rothmere.
She keeps walking forward slowly, kneeling down, looking at the tracks, tracing them with her finger, sometimes backtracking a little bit, moving forward until finally she stands up and nods and kind of jerks her head at Rothmere to follow her back to the others. And as they get back together, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, he follows.
She says, "I think most of them, almost all of them, including the horses, are in that cave. I saw 2 sets of tracks, one going that direction and one going that direction. I think they're sentries, but I think Rothmere's led us a good way, around them or through them, however you want to put it, but I don't think they're going to spot us. Still, walking straight into the mouth of a cave isn't how I usually like to do things. We definitely might want to wait for night. When they have a fire going, it'll make it harder for them to see out and easier for us to see in."
What time of day is it by the time we arrive there?
Oh, it's probably, we'll just say noon.
That's a long time for them to discover that we're out here. If we have the element of surprise, I don't know. Should we continue it? How big is the cave entrance?
It's pretty big, actually. It's big enough that you could lead 2 or 3 horses abreast inside. You have no idea what the inside looks like, obviously.
Perhaps Rothmere's done such a good job of getting around the lookouts. Perhaps he can do a quick recon of the cave and see if he finds anything and then report back to us so we have a better picture of what we're dealing with.
You want me to sneak into the cave?
Yes, I do.
He looks at the others for a moment and then he nods.
Trying to get you killed.
And he says, "I could do that. I would prefer to have someone watch my back, though." He looks over at DevNet.
If you want to go, Dev, I won't stop you. If you guys sense any danger or feel like you're compromised in any way, obviously don't hesitate to come back. I just want to know how many are in there and what they're doing.
I think you need to get within shouting distance in case things go awry.
We'll be near the mouth of the cave. I'm sure we'll hear any cries for help.
Indeed. We'll hear screams of pain as you are no doubt stabbed. But I have the utmost trust in both of you. I can do magical shield, I think, to both of them, even if I want.
Yeah, you could.
Base is 5 minutes. How long do you think a recon will take? 10 minutes?
That sounds reasonable.
I think getting into the cave is the hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
Man, if you only had something like invisibility.
I don't. I don't even have enough. Maybe after this session I'll have enough for another spell, but not now. I can give them both cast it at level 3. That way I can give him 10 AR for 10 minutes.
Could do that. That's cool with me. You can go ahead and try to cast it.
See if it works now. Harness, correct?
Yes.
I hit Rothmere.
Yeah, just do not targeted.
Pull back no. Additional mods, hardships, target no. And I'm doing
3 spell levels.
3 spell
I
effects.
think that's what you said. Yeah.
I'm gonna do.
You're just bumping. You're bumping duration and potency once, right?
Yeah.
It's 3.
What's 0 spell effects then?
It's not. It's just. I think it's on there for powers. That succeeds.
I think.
Yeah. So how does it look as you imbue them with a magical shield?
So he kind of draws him in like a football huddle, and just kind of looks at him and smiles. Obviously, ironically, because he's a straight mage, he smacks his hands together and rubs them, and goes, "And I bless thee with a potent arcane magical shield." And the air around them shimmers, and they can kind of feel themselves emboldened.
Well, all right then. She kind of looks at it, pokes at it.
Yeah, it's like you poke at it, and it's like it like resists your finger as you're kind of it's like it's translucent and around you, but it kind of bends as you push it, but it's definitely solid enough to deflect a blow, you would think.
It means they can't get together and make love. They get repulsed.
It's a full body condom.
Well, that's piercing damage, so it is deflected. Judas pleased.
Craze steps back. My work is done here. Look forward to reading this scroll and
Well,
pilfering the secrets it has inside.
I could get used to this. Come on, Roth. I know this magic stuff don't last for very long.
Alright then. And he says, he looks back at Jude and smiles as he's walking off with Dev.
Nice.
Says, we'll be back very soon.
Yeah.
Jude just stares at him.
Craze kind of says to Jude, "Hey, don't worry, friend. I put an extra layer of the magic stuff around his cock."
That doesn't make me feel better.
You're right, it shouldn't. I had to put a lot of the magic stuff around it.
It was very
He
large.
does the old finger and thumb on the bridge of his nose. He's just like, ugh.
The good thing about Witcher is that there is crass humor in
Oh,
it,
very much
hopefully
so.
it fits.
Yeah. So yeah. So the mouth of the cave's right there. Are you heading up to try to take a peek inside?
Yeah, kind of edge up, hit either side of the cave entrance and then kind of edge over to the entrance and start to slide in along the walls.
Yeah, you
Try
both
to
can give
stay
me
in
a
the shadows.
stealth check. Rothmere, you get a +5 and additional modifiers just so you. I think you actually. Let me see if you get anything more than that, but you definitely get a +5 for wary, and then you have skilled as well. So let me see what a level 1 bonus set is in PL2. I think it's a. Okay, PDF, wake up. Let me see. Go to my handy. Power scaling. PL 1 benefit. So you're going to get 1 benefit to your roll and then a +5.
Crappy roll for me.
Yeah, that was bad. Yeah, that's a lot of dice. Okay. Give me 1 second here.
As they're like heading up there too, Rothmere will say, like, before they get close to the cave entrance, any
my
signs of
gosh.
danger? Oh, shit. Any signs of danger, we should flee. Back to Jude and Wraith.
Back in that direction anyway. Maybe behind a tray. Wait for him to come by.
My apologies dragging you with me, but for a moment it seemed that Jude was just being careless with my skills.
He do like to test the men when he's considering them for the black. But I wouldn't have let you go without someone to watch your back. That just ain't right.
Yeah, as you're kind of whispering and getting closer, you can head towards the mouth of the cave if you want to head to both sides of it or whatever.
Yeah. Your mouth. So, like here?
Yeah, that makes sense. If you wanted to split it, one of you come over here, that would make sense. I mean, wherever you want to go, it's up to you.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah, you kind of as you're there, you kind of see like the there's like this ambient light kind of from inside, so you assume that, and you kind of hear the crackle of wood as fire burns, and you do notice that actually there's some smoke that comes out this way, and you kind of look up, and there's cracks in the stone above the cave, and you see smoke kind of leaking out there where you think it's probably going to be pretty smoky in there, but
Well, try to use the smoke to an advantage. Get low and crouch and start to poke in.
Rothmere would be like looking for traps or anything, like sound traps or anything.
And she'd start to listen for voices.
oh yeah, you hear the murmur of voices for sure. Can you give me a perception check? Mm-hmm. You can as well, Rothmere, if you'd like. Yeah. Dev, you hear something kind of outside, kind of behind you as you're peeking in, and you see 2 guys kind of running in your direction, and they call out, "What you doing there?"
She kind of turns around startled and pastes a big smile on her face and says, "Oh, I was just looking for shelter for the night. I saw smoke coming from the cave." She starts to kind of just back away.
You and your friend, huh? They just kind of move forward. And the
Aye.
yeah, the your
You don't think a lass would be traveling by herself, do you? And she's starting to reach for her knives.
Rothmere, what are you doing?
Yeah, if he spots me.
Oh yeah, well, I guess he doesn't necessarily. He does. He looks up and sees you. I mean, he's not gonna see her, not you. And he kind of looks between you, the two do, and one of them says, "Go get them inside and see what they want to do with these." And they split up, and one begins to walk towards the cave entrance. He says, "Just don't move, yeah."
I wouldn't, and she throws knives at him.
She does throw the knives at him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Perjute and Kraith, give me a perception roll. Let's see how much you see from where you are. This map is not the scale for where you are, actually. Okay. Yeah, you kind of see what's happening. Hear it probably more than see it. Let me set up the grid real quick. Can I make that a little bigger? Yes. Okay. All right. Give me 2 seconds. I'll scale your tokens down and make you fit.
These guys all just carrying blades.
These ones are carrying... Tell you 2 seconds. They are carrying swords, yeah. Jute, what are you doing? I would say you're probably about 10 hexes to the right.
Of where I am right now. And he kind of hears the commotion and maybe the echo of like guys talking, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Hearing that, knowing that their foray into the cave didn't make it too far, he looks at Kraith. Well, so much for the stealth approach, and he kind of pulls both his swords and starts sprinting.
Kraith does the same and says, I suppose there's still time to end the threat quietly, but I doubt that will happen.
Okay, give me 2 seconds here. If you gotta take a break, now's a good time.
Okay.
Get stuff set up here.
Yep.
Cool.
Be right back.
Yep. What a song!
Right.
The haunting melody. Okay. Stop. I'm just gonna roll their initiatives and make sure nobody has keen or anything like that. They don't have keen, okay. Wonder if this is going to work. Yeah, it did. Okay, cool. He does. You can roll initiative if you want, Jute. If you're here. King 2. What's it? Level 2 bonus set. Okay. 1 benefit and a +2. Okay.
Can I roll initiative?
Yep, go ahead.
Should I go ahead and run initiative?
You can.
I'm back.
Okay.
Got some monkeypox in Columbus here.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
How much people are doing butt stuff there? all you swingers and your upside down pineapples.
No.
Recorded line. It's on a recorded line.
Alright, who do we have? So, Rothmere and Kraith still need to roll initiative.
Roll. in it. 3. Flat.
That is good.
Mm-hmm. So is this where we're kind of at with these hexes that here?
You are actually 10 to the right. So you're going to have to do a sprint action, a run action to get there for 5 AP, basically.
Okay. I guess you can probably assume Jute and I are doing that.
Yeah.
Then.
Yep.
Just waiting for Rogue to get back, and I'll just grab some water while he's doing that. I'll be right back. Take me 2 seconds.
Good thing you have these magic shields.
That's right.
What does it provide?
At that level, I upgraded the...
Damage reduction, wasn't it?
Yeah, I did that once, and then I did the duration once, so AR plus AR10 to whatever you already have.
Oh, wow, nice.
To all aspects.
I should be okay, because my base defense is like good.
They should have a special if they hit your right arm location, it does no damage.
I know! That would be sweet.
Yeah, for real. I think that makes sense.
Consolation prize.
Yeah, or half damage if it's from the elbow up.
50 chance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Smaller,
0 or, yeah.
Okay.
Smaller target.
Tet, while you were gone, we house ruled something. If Dev gets hit in the right arm location, there's no damage.
Whiff.
Get her a prosthetic, and it just does 0 damage. It's just the arm falls off.
Alright, Rothmere, I need you to roll initiative. Are you here, Rogue? I thought I heard you. Okay. There you go. Okay. Let's...
Dogs. Dags. I hate dags.
Them dags.
Yeah, you hear some barking. And what's their speed? Okay. They're not the quick dogs. DevNet, you are up.
All right. I'm gonna let fly.
Me in like every single video game I've ever played, I try to do stealth and like, fuck it.
Kill.
Yeah.
They're probably, what range were they? Close?
Yeah, they're close for me.
Okay. Which one did you swing at? That's the top one.
Yeah.
Okay, so that includes everything, yeah? Okay, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So 38. Let's see. He's a minion. So, I would subtract 9. It's 29, and then his armor, which is torso strike, piercing. Yeah, that does enough damage to kill him. How does it look?
Dev is backing up, and she's kind of getting ready to hold up her hands like, oh, I don't mean any harm, but as she's raising them, she just pulls a knife out with one finger in the loop of the knife and tosses it in one fluid motion, and it hits him right in the throat, and he kind of clutches at his throat, can't cry out, can't do anything, as blood starts to spurt out of it.
Yeah. The guy next to him, I'm assuming these guys already have their weapons out. He like, oh, Bradford! Oh! He actually does a charge action. Let me look it up.
5 AP.
Yeah, it's 5 for sure. So he moved 3, so that's cool. So it's going to be 5 AP. I think he gets a hardship on his attack. Yes. Yes. Whoa, that's way too loud. Okay. There we go. Swords benefit. Well, actually, let me look at the guy. See what his abilities are.
Oh, is there music on it?
Yeah, there's been music on through Roll20.
You might have to adjust the volume on Roll20. They changed the interface. Because reasons.
Yeah, of course.
Roll 20.
Danger. So he has a level 1 bonus set, so he's going to get a benefit.
A benefit and a hardship.
Yep, benefit and no additional mods. 1 hardship. 29.
I'll just take it. My base defense is 28.
Okay, so 1, and then what's his damage, just to make sure. I don't think it's going to be enough, but 5.
That gets doubled.
Yep. So, well, 4, so 8, and then 1 is 9. And what's your armor on your torso?
8, plus I've got his shield, so...
Oh, yeah, you guys do have shields. Let me,
Maybe 18.
yeah, let me, put that on there.
I'm gonna be cocky for, like, a few rounds.
It's for, okay. 10 AP is what it was for, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's an extra 10, so I'll put the AP marker on there. Actually, nah, this is your armor, so I just remember it. Okay. So yeah, he comes up and like swings on you, and it hits, but it's like you just notice it doesn't get through this magic that Kraith had given you. You're like, look down at it, you know?
And she kind of laughs a little bit gleefully as he starts to reach for a sword.
Kraith, you're up. You're sprinting, I'm guessing?
Yep, little sprint.
Alright, so you now can see what's happening as you get there. Jute, same thing, I'm guessing?
Yep, 5 action points to cover the 10 hexes.
Yep. Rothmere, you're up.
Alright. Is that a charge attack?
Yeah, you have to be able to cover 5 though. 1, 2, at least 5, or 3 to 5 basically. 1, 2, 3.
He's in range.
Yeah, then you can do it.
And then just my short sword.
Mm-hmm. Is your short sword light? It's not. It's not. I know short swords aren't light. Go ahead. You can't charge with a light weapon. That's why I mentioned it. But yeah, you're good. So give yourself a hardship when you attack,
Okay.
and then yeah, and he gets a hardship on his defense too.
Okay. I was just checking something real quick to
Okay.
see anything about that weapon. I have lethal weapon. Is that just
Lethal weapon is more damage,
okay? That's it.
I think. Let me make sure you have. Just hold on. Let me look. Lethal weapon. Yeah. You don't have weapon masters, so. Head strike, 48 damage. That's gonna kill him. I don't really need to do the math on it. How does it look? As you charge into him with a short sword and hit him on the head.
Yeah. Rothmere comes flying towards him, and right after he like slices into her shield, the guy turns to catch Rothmere's short sword across the side of his face. Blood splatters across the ground.
Mm-hmm. Alright, give me a sec. Things happen off the screen. Like video games when people are acting and can't see them. This person's acting.
Do we hear growling or
Oh, you
barking
definitely
or
hear
anything like that?
barking from inside, absolutely.
Okay, so there's dogs coming. Hmm.
I think I had this song on my D&D game.
Dare you. Dev, you're up.
How tall is this rock?
About as tall as you are.
How easy to climb does it look?
I would let you just do it as
Difficult terrain?
yeah, basically it just costs an extra AP to get on top of it.
Yeah, I think she wants to climb on top of the rock, get some high ground.
That would just cost 3 AP.
Okay.
I have the high ground, Anakin.
She just waits to see something come out.
Mm-hmm. Alright, let me see here.
I think it's the dogs.
Yes, dogs. Yep, you get exactly right here. There's 3 dogs that are rushing out. Ruff, 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 ruff. And Kraith, you come upon the scene. You see Devinet on this rock and 2 dead bodies, and Rothmere down on the ground, and 3 dogs rushing out of the cave.
Mm-hmm. He has his sword catcher and his blade, his falchion in his right hand, and on his right hand is Jude, and both of them are kind of sprinting in. And he doesn't slow down. He's going to continue
Yeah, sure.
to sprint to get into the fray. Is it just 1 hex per AP? Is that what I gotta do there?
It's actually 2 hexes per 1 AP if you're running.
I'm sprinting. Okay, so let's see here. I don't want to get in front. I don't know if I want to get in front.
I'm up here.
So 6 AP, 6 X's,
That would be 3 AP.
3 AP. It's going to put me in. Yeah, that's where I want to be, I think. Do that.
I love that token that you're using.
10 made it.
Alright, you're at 8. Jute.
My hair is windblown as I run.
Jude
That's
following Crace example continues sprinting, sword in each hand. Seeing Dev on the top of the rock and hearing the dog's bark, he goes to the other side of the rock. So that'd be 3 AP.
Okay. Case it's important. Rothmere, you're up now.
All right. Is it? It's not possible for me to go back into hiding, is it?
I mean, you could move to some place where you think you can get hidden. It's if you went around the other side of the rock, maybe.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It would be tough for where you are and what's happening.
Okay. If I move here, actually, can I do like a defensive stance?
Yeah, you can do full defense.
Yeah. I think I'll do that.
Okay, that's 5 AP. Alright, full defense. So your magic wears off. So let me take those off. Boop. Boop. But you are in full defense. Let me see. These things are so shitty. There we go. We'll just say that's what that is. And you please remember, obviously, bailiff. Okay, hold on. So that would get him. Yeah. Okay. Another guy runs out of the cave. See a dude come out, and he actually has this big ass man catcher. If you know what those are.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like, almost like a pitchfork for catching.
It's like a
people around the
kinda,
neck.
yeah, but it has like a clamp on it, yeah. And you see like shadows behind him. This guy. Yeah, you see that people are coming towards the exit. Alright, so... I'm just going to shrink this down for... Interact. That'd be interact action. And this guy gets here, kind of like a dwarf comes out and kind of wades through the dogs to get outside. I charged him for extra for moving through their space. has an axe, of course. What else would he have? And I think we are at Dev.
I was looking for range bands in the book,
Yep.
but I haven't quite found it yet. How and you do half
Combat.
or medium, but
Combat.
How do you count?
then close range?
how do you
Mm-hmm.
how do you count back to medium to close?
What's your max? What is your range on your?
12?
It is actually 12. So if it's 12, then it's 12 through 18 is medium. 12 through, I'm sorry, 6 through 18.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, 6 through 18.
So these guys are all still close for me.
2, 3, 1, 2. Yep, they look like they are.
Smoke them.
Yeah. I'll go for the dwarf.
Okay. He's -3 because he's running. So on your additional mods.
That was targeted.
Yeah, he's dead. Pretty sure. Unless he's got some wicked armor. He's got 10 and then... He does have some pretty big armor. 22. That's still not enough. It punches through. He's got brigandine armor, but it still like punches through and gets him in the femoral artery, even with a -3. He just, kind of slumps to the ground. Blood just squirts out of his leg.
Nice div.
It's 9. Okay, it's her turn. One sec. So this thing can go. Rothmere and Rothmere, give me a perception check. Yeah, you don't hear anything. Let me shit, I hate when that happens. Okay, it is, let me just make sure, descending. It is Jute's turn. No, Kate's turn. Kraith's turn.
Great. He stands kind of like partially concealed by that boulder, and he kind of raises his hands, and this blue energy starts to swirl around him. He's going to start to consider.
Yeah.
That's like the aim.
It sure
for
is.
magic,
How
right?
many times do you want to consider?
Just 2 for now.
Okay.
And
You're at 10.
yeah.
You consider. Jute, it is your turn.
Oh, I think I'll go ahead and charge into the bailiff.
Okay. He has reach, so he's going to make an attack as you try to get close.
Yeah,
Wait,
am I allowed to do a defensive action, a block with that coming in from
No.
the charge?
Mm-mm.
So I'm gonna catch you, man. Catch you with the main catcher.
Yeah, he has that big ass man catcher waiting for you. I'm not sure which. If you, I mean, you can not go in. It's up to you, or you can try.
And it's 1 hex for the man catcher.
Yeah, he would get you. He's got it's reach 1. Yeah, so when you start to get from here to here is when he would do it.
Right. Well, let's see if that changed my mind. Now, is it? It won't be able to do it this turn, but is it offensive maneuver?
Penetrate.
I'm trying to remember which is where
There's
I can
penetrate.
Get into,
yeah, there's penetrate. Yeah. But he can hit you at that reach. If you stand 1 away from him when he can attack you. Penetrate's just from there to get inside. So you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. We'll see what he does then. So. We'll go to there for 2 AP. See if the dogs or bailiff come towards me.
Okay. Okay. All right. It is Dev's turn.
She doesn't like the look of that man catcher, so she's gonna start aiming at that guy. Well, she's not really... Let me see, what am I at? 937. Yeah, no aiming.
Okay.
Ah, crap roll maybe.
17, but let's see. This guy 17 plus your 2. It's 19.
I think I have...
You have piercing.
Piercing and mortal on my daggers. Wait, I have it on something.
You have it on your
maybe I did.
sword.
Yeah,
if
you don't
memory
have
serves.
mortal on in your daggers, but
I think I had to take it off because
it might not matter. So
Okay.
piercing. Okay, so piercing is your agility score. What's your agility score? 5. So, okay. So we're looking at right now. We're looking at, we'll just say, 17 plus 7, 24, minus 9, and then what's his torso? Minus 19. That hits him, and that kills him. How does it look as it goes through his chainmail and sticks him in the heart?
Yeah, she sees Jute eye him, but doesn't like the thought of that man catcher on the field, and she quickly flicks her knife at him, and she's not sure at this distance, that her aim's going to be as good, but it does. It sinks right in and catches him, and she smiles and then grins down at the others. Come on, you've got to catch up.
As you say that,
I'm considering catching up.
a man with a bow steps out,
Uh-oh.
kind of peers around to see what's going on. Lots of 10s here, so let's see. G. Craith, I think. Nope. Dogs. Dogs immediately lunge. Move down here to attack Jute. It's a mob.
Oh, 3 of them.
We're at 14 because they lunged. Alright, so here we go. Let me see, make sure I'm not over my pool. With 3 benefits. Oh, they get 2. Well, though. They can only... let me look at something real quick. Can't remember. Minions. Okay. So they have 3 benefits, so that was gonna be 5 and they're 1, so yeah, that's gonna be fine. -3 for lunging. Combat. Bite. 3 benefits. -3 for lunging. Hardships, none. Yeah, the dogs begin to bite at your feet.
And he'll attempt to deflect them off with his swords.
Don't forget your defensive bonuses and stuff.
Yep.
Oh,
there's a 1 there. There's a
Okay.
1 there, so I get to reroll that.
that's got to be
So I
better than a
need,
5.
5.
No.
Nope.
Oh,
Alright, so it still might not be too bad. 5 damage. Their bite is only 2. So that's 7 damage. And what's your slashing on your torso? I'm sure it's more than 7, yeah.
Torso slashing is 13.
Yep. So they bite you, and it doesn't get through, but you're grappled right now because they're holding on. They're like pulling at your something on your belt on your hip or something like. And then it is Kraith now. Oh, that's a 1 for you, Jute. Gotta.
Yep.
Yep, Kraith is up.
I'm gonna cast Energy Blast towards the Dags at level 4. 2 range upgrades and one damage
Yep,
upgrade.
Go ahead.
Would be level. See if I can smoke these, and I get benefits for the
2.
for the
2.
Right.
I think it might. Isn't your harness 5 though? Your harness 5, your willpower 5.
I think it's 4. Let me check though. Skills. Harness. Yeah, my harness is 5.
Yeah, so you're gonna, instead of rolling off the sheet, you're gonna roll. Instead of 10d5, you're gonna roll. Actually, you're gonna roll. What are you gonna roll? So you need 2. So that extra, those 2 benefits go into a new kept dice. So you're gonna roll 10, keep 6.
So I just roll that.
You can just do it in the sheet. Roll 10d. I'm sorry. 10d6. Keep. I'm sorry. 10d10. Keep 6.
And is that like 2
Yeah,
exclamations after
yep.
that?
$56. So his magic defense is 2. So 4. Now you got to roll 4d10 though for your spell thing. Only 2 explosions.
Because it was 10 damage.
No. This is for your
40.
spell effect, your spell dice, since you're just doing it manually, right?
It's 40-10. Those
Yep,
explode.
they do.
Exclamation.
So 38. So 38 minus 56. Damn. Yeah, it kills one of them. For 10 plus, just obliterates it. But only one of them.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, okay. So Kraith kind of has a swirling vortex of energy and just lets it loose towards the dogs, and One of them that was around Jute's base just like head pops, like the boy.
Yeah, right. The head popper.
Explodes. It just explodes, and he says, "Enough with that." And then he looks down at his falchion, and it seems like he's about ready to charge into the melee next time.
Rothmere.
And that I can consider it.
Yep. You can take those off.
Over.
Nobody came after you. Killed them all.
Move into there.
Did you move? How many did you move?
2.
Okay. Move 2. That's too short to charge. Jute, you're up. No, I'm sorry, you're not up.
No.
Hold on 1 second. This bigger guy in heavy armor comes out. He's got a big maul in his hand. Now you're up.
So grappled, am I allowed to attack, or do I have to break free? of the grapple?
Okay, on the PDF, grappling is page... Let me find it. It's here somewhere.
This combat's going so much more fluidly when you're first coming up with this system.
Well, yeah, man.
I like it.
Let's see. It is under the battlefield, and it is right there, grappling page 109 or 114 in the PDF. So you would be the defensive grappler. You may use any defensive action as usual. Defensive grapplers that are non-adjacent to offensive. So let's see. Can't move. A defensive grappler may use offensive actions, and they may attack any adjacent targets. Those require a skill check. Take 2 hardships. So you can attack the dogs with 2 hardships. Or you can use you can try to reverse the grapple and all that stuff, right?
I'm gonna just do a single attack with 2 hardships on the dogs.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the whirlwind attack.
You are going to do the whirlwind attack? Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
try and finish
Yeah,
them
you can
off.
do that.
Kill both.
Yep.
Did that not roll? What
I
the
didn't see
heck?
anything.
Let's try that again. Okay, let's try that again.
There you go. That's with your 2 hardships, so that's not bad.
Yep.
So they have...
If I need to re-roll those ones, I will. Let's see if we can. I'll just do it now.
Boo, boo. So they have base defense of 20, so they can't do that. So let me see. I think they can do defensive grappling, but they have to let go. Give me a second. Yeah, I think they just do this. We can do gonna kind of try to dodge it. They get no benefits.
It'll be a 43.
Oh, that kills them. How do you kill both dogs as they're grappling you?
As they're snapping at them blindly at his feet, their backs are exposed, and with one swing he hits the spine of one, and the other he kind of swings it around in a reverse grip and pierces it through the top of its hide, and it collapses at its feet.
Yeah, it's a bloody mess over there after the head popper. The archer sees Devnet up on this rock, and he just takes, he doesn't technically take aim. He just fires one right at her. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. You're going to be in medium range for him. Let me make sure what his abilities are. Weapon master. Okay, so none of that is attack based. Medium range. Miss. Negative 28.
Oh.
Your base defense is outstanding.
He shoots himself.
Yeah, how does it look as this thing just barely misses you?
Well, I think she sees him raising it, and at the last minute she just barely leans to the left, and it whizzes by where her arm used to be.
Zoom! Just right by you. Yeah. Rothmere. Oh, no, Dev.
Well, I give as good as I get. Gonna try to take him out.
That's a hit.
But barely.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to get through. 4 damage, head strike.
It is a strike.
9 damage.
Interesting.
Let's see what we got on this guy. So 9 minus 8 already.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to get through. It just ricochets. I don't even know if he has a helmet, but actually, if he doesn't have a helmet, it's going to kill him. He does. Yeah, it just kind of ting off the side of his helmet. How many knives have you thrown?
4.
Alright. You just keep track of them.
Yep.
Alright, it is Rothmere's turn now. Yeah, you can do that.
So it's the man catcher.
Man catcher guy's dead.
Is that a charge?
Yeah,
No, that's not a straight
not a
line.
straight
That's not
line.
even. Yeah, you can't. You can move, but you can't charge.
Okay, so I'll move
Okay.
to there.
All right, it's female nighttime, and you hear "For Temerian!" and this lady on a horse just comes riding out to right there, charge. And she
What's up, cuz?
has a lance and tries to lance Jude into oblivion. Mounted combat rules on the next page. Look at this. Okay. Yeah, she uses her lance. Let me see, I think she's got quite a bit on her lance.
So
Weapon Master 1 and 2 lance, lethal weapon 1 lance. Okay, no attack things though. Lance. 61.
well, we will definitely be trying to block that.
You're no longer grappled. Oh my god.
as she comes in with the lance, as maybe perhaps the horse adjusts itself at the last moment to get over the dead dogs, but whatever the case is, he brings both swords up in like an X formation and pushes the lance to the side as she comes charging through, narrowly avoiding a strike directly to his chest.
Kraith.
Kraith's going to look at Jude kind of standing his ground as this knight like kind of comes up and tries to skewer him. And he is going to, what is he? 13. I kind of want to hit again, so I want to do... She's at 17. Price will be able to go. Okay, so I'm going to do Magic Shield on Jute with 1-2 range upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
And why don't I try to give a magnitude upgrade too? So
it's 4.
Is that 3?
4. Mm-hmm.
4. Try it. Let's try it. Magic harness. Jute. Benefits not in this time. Come on.
Yeah, that works. Just barely 21. So he gets boop and boop. Yeah, how does it look?
It says by House Severdale, Magicus Invictus. And he kind of puts his hands towards him in this like whirlpool of time space ricochets towards Jute, and he feels himself kind of surrounded by that same magical energy that DevNet and Rothmir did earlier. Stand your ground, comrade!
Yeah. The knight kind of lumbers out with his maul. 1, 2 comes around after Jute. My lady, let me take care of this fool! And he kind of lumbers around her horse. And then it is the archer's turn, and he is faced with Rothmir, and he tries to take a point-blank shot at you. No, he is none of that stuff, so he's just going to shoot. Bow, target. Now you can try to evade if he hits. You can try to dodge because he's adjacent. So he would hit versus your base defense of 29. So if you think you could do better than 29, you can try to evade. But right now he hits you for 10 plus whatever's damage and all that stuff. So it looks like it's going to be 11 versus whatever your armor is on your leg. Which I can tell you if it's going to hurt you or not.
It's not going to be bad.
Yeah, Pierce 4. No, it's not going to get over your injury level at the very least.
I'm just going to take
No,
it.
No, it's Rothmir. It's Rothmir.
Oh, okay.
He's shooting
Sorry.
point blank. So I'm guessing you don't want to dodge, yeah?
Yeah, if it's not going to do anything
Yeah,
to
it's
me.
not. Okay. Let me, did I pump him? I did not, so... 17, and it is... Let's see. Who is up? It's DevNet.
Yeah. I want to kill her horse.
Yeah, you can throw at the horse. Yep. Let me just make it easy for you. Let me transmogrify it over real quick. Let me pull over Warhorse. Warhorse. You're gonna get the blue pawn, but that's the Warhorse stats, so you can target it.
Okay. Now, there's do you want me to take any negatives because of positioning? I do
No,
have
because you're
ability.
up on the rock. So I would
Yeah.
say
Okay.
you have a pretty good shot at it over the guy. The guy's not doesn't have size 2 or anything, large knight, so
Okay. Let's see.
29. Okay, let's see what happens. It doesn't have barding or anything, so it's going to die. Well, it takes a wound, which it does. Those thrown from... Okay, so let's see. Rider makes a hard ride skill check or be thrown from the mount. If the mount dies, the rider is automatically thrown. So she's thrown. She's going to take a rank 2 hardship for falling. Okay, so let's do that. So rank 2, it's going to be 40, 10, keep 10, or no, 2, boom, boom. Okay, so this is what she's going to beat. I think that's an acrobatics roll for falling. So let's do that. Acrobatics. Oh my god. Look at that roll. That's fucking nuts. Okay, so, yeah, they don't explode because she doesn't have acrobatics, right? But, yeah, how does it look as you kill the horse and she's able to kind of unmount herself and slide to the ground as the horse falls dead beside her?
Dev raises her knife and kind of shouts at the same time, "Oi, bitch!" And so she sees the knife flying at her horse, kind of sees, she can see registering in the woman's eyes that this horse is going down, and, her expression turns angry, but she kind of leaps off of the horse's back just as the dagger hits the beast in the neck, hitting it in an artery, and she manages to jump down and land on her feet near Jute.
Yeah. Jute's at 17 because he dodged, right?
Yeah.
I'm just making sure Large Knight's really at 15.
He is.
Yeah, he's going to reckless attack. Let me make sure I think I'm going to have to convert his pool. Yes. So that's going to be roll 10, keep 6 plus 3. That's what I'm at right now. Yeah. Then he is skilled, so it's actually going to be roll 10, keep 7. Yeah. Alright.
Big boy.
10, D10, keep 7. Here we go. 60. Not too bad, considering.
Yeah, that could have been
much
worse.
worse.
Yeah. As he
Only
brings
one explosion. It was only 13.
as he brings the maul down, Jude does his best to deflect
Oh
it.
shit! I didn't reckless attack even. That's just normal. No, I did. I'm sorry. Never mind. Good. Yeah. You're good. Good. Yeah, the maul just comes down hard. So that's a tie. So that's a hit. His damage is... So, let me see what his actual damage is. Where'd it go? Oh, because I didn't actually roll from the sheet. Let me see, I think it's 10. It is 10. What is your armor on your... so he rolled a 60. Let me do this correctly. It's really... where is that? Hit location. Hit location. It is... rightmost digit is a 0. It's headshot. So 10 damage to the head. That's going to be 15 damage. Crushing. So -5 to whatever bludgeoning damage you have on your head.
So we'll start with going. The head for bludgeoning is 5, so it's only 3. So that's down to 12.
It's 0 because he has crushing on your head.
That's
Oh, okay.
It's 8 for bludgeoning,
gotcha.
and then -5
Yep.
you said, so that's 3. So that takes it down to 12. And then what's the magic armor at? How much was that?
Oh.
10? So that goes from 12 to 2.
Yeah,
So nothing.
Craig's saving all
So
our
nothing.
butts.
How does it look?
So as this knight just goes absolutely ham, he tries to bring up his sword and maybe kind of redirect the haft of the maul, but it still catches him in the head. Fortunately, what the helmet doesn't soak up, this kind of hazy magical armor kind of flares briefly as the maul kind of bounces off, leaving Jute and the knight surprised that he is unhurt and still standing.
Nice. Kraith, you're up again.
And that should take me up to 18 because I deflected.
Yep. I'll do that. Spending all your AP defending right now.
Hey,
yeah,
I'm alive.
you are. That one could have been bad. Kraith, you're up.
Yep. Fine if I want to try to attack them with or armor myself and wade in. He's only what, 1, 2. Okay, so I'm gonna move.
You've got
I'm
to
sorry.
charge if you wanted to.
No, you have to move at least 3.
Oh yeah.
What I want to do is at the large knight, I'm going to do a quick cast for 2 APs.
Mhm.
I'm going to increase my range. I have to do it. Oh crap! I'd have to do 2 because he's at 3, right?
What do you mean?
All right, so if I hit him, well, because I can increase my range to 2 hexes with 1 upgrade.
Uh-huh.
So it's like 1.5, which rounds up to 2. So I'm gonna have to increase the range by 2, and I want to do. I'm just gonna see if I can hit him. So quick cast.
Okay.
But just 2 range upgrades.
Okay, so level 3 and with 1 hardship.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully I can pull them off, maybe.
Are you doing energy attack?
Yeah. Energy attack, large knight, benefit 0. Hardship 1. Targeted, yes.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't give me it didn't give me an option to do a spell level.
Really? That's weird. Okay. Go ahead and just roll how many dice it is.
Maybe just roll harness.
No, just roll the D because it did it. That's weird though. Just roll your D4 or whatever it was. 4d10 or 3d10. I can't remember which one it was. It was 3d10, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so your hardship
That's
and his
only-
magic defense is in there, I think. I think his magic defense looks like it's 12.
2
It is 12, yeah.
4.
Yeah, that misses. Yeah, no explosives. Yeah, miss. How does it look? Is this just isn't able to hit it?
Yeah, so as Jute's kind of starting to get surrounded, Kraith tries to throw one off quickly, and his lack of schooling and lack of discipline finally rears its head. As he gets a little cocky, he just throws one off, and it goes awry. And he's like, oh, fuck me. All right, fucking enough of this magic. Divnet, cover me. I'm going in.
Marathmir.
He is gonna short sword this guy.
Yep. You may short sword him. 57, he's gonna try to dodge. That's about his only hope. No. How do you kill the archer?
Yeah, when he charges up, he jumps to the side, trying to like leave an opening for any other attacks at the guy. And he rolls to the side of him. The guy tries to shoot him, pushes the arrow and the bow down, and then leaves an opening at the guy's neck where he brings the short sword across.
Nice. Let me see what change posture is. I think it's interact.
Is a quick cast 3?
2.
It's only 2.
It's
Okay,
2.
good. All right.
So she is prone right now, and she stands up. That's 1 AP for her. So she stands up. That's her action. And then it is... there's a lot of people at 18. I think it's Dev. It is Dev, yeah.
Yeah. She's gonna go for the large knight.
Okay. That is...
What's his minus for reckless?
his minus for reckless is -5 base defense, and then I think it's reckless attack, -5 base defense, and 1 hardship on defensive actions. So I think that's going to be 5 higher actually. Yeah. So that's 47. He can't do anything. This is like prime area for you. So 47. Yep. Okay, so let's do the left leg. So it's 44 plus 2. That's 46 damage without any of his stuff taken into consideration or piercing. Right. So 47. Okay. Let me look here. Alright. Left leg. Your agility is 5, is that right?
That's right.
I was a dummy and didn't fill it out. Hold on. He's got half plate. Hold on. 1 sec, sorry. Armor. No, I don't want crafting armor. There we go. So he has, so piercing, he has 13. So that is going to be 34. But piercing 5, so it's going to be 39. Okay, so that's a wound, but not a mortality threshold, so he takes a wound. Yeah, takes a wound. How's it look?
Yep. She, from the high ground, is eyeing the best place to get this guy, but he doesn't have very many vulnerabilities in all that armor. She tries to catch him in the groin, like on one side of his thigh, and it sinks in, but misses the femoral artery.
Yeah, he screams out as it hits, like, sticks into his thigh. Ah! I'll kill you, bitch! And
You got to catch me first, and she's got 2 daggers left.
okay. Kraith.
Kraith is going to I think I must have to move in.
Oof. 2.
Yep.
Okay. Kraith moves in. Jute, finally, you are able to do something. Except dodge.
Alright, so does he, Mr. Large Knight, also have a penalty because he's flanked now?
No, because he's technically not overwhelmed because she's on you as well. And now it's an even fight.
Yeah, no one's overwhelmed.
She would have you would have been overwhelmed last time, but she was prone, so she wasn't threatening you.
Gotcha. Well, as they are ganging up on the Large Knight, he thinks to himself he has a special purpose for the female knight. He turns his attentions to the beast that tried to bludgeon his brain into oblivion and does a 2-weapon attack against him.
Okay.
So we'll start with the meteorite sword.
Oh, hell. What was your initiative? Do you remember?
Me, it was 25,
That
I
sounds
believe.
good enough, yeah. Okay.
What type of weapon was
He's
he
got a
using?
maul.
Is that
Maul?
a reach weapon?
No, it's not a reach weapon, but it's definitely unwieldy.
Okay.
I'm just hoping. Never mind.
He's got a wound,
He does.
right?
Yep, he does.
So he's got a wound. He's got an unwieldy weapon. He did a reckless attack last
Yeah.
time, so it's stacking up. This is my first attack.
Yeah, this
so.
okay. So he's got a hardship on all defensive actions, and he has a wound that's automatically factored in.
And
base defenses.
does he have any defensive benefits?
No.
Okay.
He's gonna dodge. So I'll add his hardship in. Oh my god! I should have just let the base defense go. All right.
Oh wow.
Okay. So that's 49 right off the bat. Let me increase his thing before I forget. All right. All right. 49. You hit him in the leg. 46. 46 plus 4. 50. Breach. I always forget how breach works.
I believe it's -2 for all
Okay,
armor
yeah.
qualities.
So what we're at -3, and then okay, so 50, 49, 46, 50. Okay, we're at 50.
Yep, we're back
52.
where we started.
We're at 50. Oh well, okay, not yet, not yet.
Oh, and then add 2.
Not yet.
Yeah,
So
I
let's
gotcha.
see what his armor is. His armor is slashing 16.
Yes.
So it'll be actually 14. So we're going to be at 36.
Yes.
36. Okay. So that's what he takes. I think that's just a wound for him.
Two
Oh shit!
wounds.
I forgot his falter roll. Let me do his falter roll real quick. Should have done a falter roll on the first time. Versus a 36. Okay, let me do that. Falter roll. Yes. Yeah, he does. He
Ooh,
doesn't
wow.
fall asleep. Okay.
All right, now I'll hit him with my other sword.
Make sure I put a wound in there. Oh man.
Despite his size, Jude is just wailing away on him. First, his main hand stabs him in the leg, and as he
Yeah, I'm just doing
tries to
base
pull
defense. So I'm rack up what I know here. -3. So that's where we're at the beginning without any armor or anything. 16 again against slashing. So we're at 34. We're at 36. 36 damage again. Another wound. I'll do falter first.
3?
Well, yeah, it is 3, so he's got to make a death roll. Versus 36. So let me do that. I'm guessing he's going to make it. Yep. So, what happens now is he gets an injury. Because it gets converted. Because he can't take any more wounds. So, takes an injury. Now I do a falter roll. Falter roll. There it is. Yep, still doesn't... you're cutting him to pieces, but he is just not falling. Ah, get you, elf! Yep. Cutting his legs to pieces.
As he hacks a leg in his sword arm or maul arm, he says, like, you will try.
Alright, let's see. Combat actions for her. I think I wanna... How's it read? What's the command called? Draw an attack. Yep, so she has a long sword on her hip. The lance is on the ground. She does a draw an attack, which is 5 AP. Oh, I think that's a hardship, isn't it? Yep. You're actually down. This is not correct anymore. You're at 4. Okay. Draw an attack. Combat. Longsword. Benefit none. Hold on. Yeah, she's got... Yeah. Longsword. Hardship. 31 against you, Jute.
Alrighty, let's block it. Oh, you know what I realized? I think I should have been putting in 2 benefits this whole time for blocking, because it has defensive value of 1.
And you have duelist.
And then it adds 1 for duelist. Womp womp.
And nobody's hit you, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Yep, you block it.
As she comes in at him, he kind of retracts the meteorite sword out of the man's leg and instantly brings it down to parry her own thrust. Pathetic.
Rothmere, you're up.
Women don't belong in battles.
Take your armor off and get in my kitchen.
Can I charge?
Where
that?
were you? Sorry, I did. What square? What hex were you in?
Okay, I moved 2
Then you
hexes.
cannot charge. Yeah, you can't. You have to be at least 3 away to charge, and you're too far to lunge, so it's kind of a shitty. Yeah.
Alright, I'll move
so
there.
it's at 21. It is Kraith's turn. Now you guys have an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
On him, at least.
I'm gonna like crank up the damage on my energy blast since I'm in touch range.
There you go. Touch attack.
I think I'm gonna upgrade 3 times.
Okay, for 4th level spell. Just do your harness. We know what it does, so I don't know why that magic part wasn't working. The 20 damage, other damage blast that cannot.
The 20 damage blast.
Yeah, and like he doesn't have magical armor, so.
So it's
Yeah,
4.
it's 4.
Just hope I roll well.
That's pretty good. You could did it target him?
Oh no.
That's okay.
Sorry.
So
No, I think I hit.
so go ahead and okay. So it did all that. So let me see. I think it's 12. So it's a 42. He has no armor for this whatsoever. So it's going to be 62 damage. All right. Let me see here. 62 damage. He needs to make an instant death roll. Okay, so that's the first thing we're gonna do.
I'll do the 5-finger death punch, blow up the heart. Oh!
Look
Oh
at
my
this
gosh,
unit.
this
Okay, so
guy.
he gets an injury because he can't take another wound. I'm gonna do a falter roll. Falter rolls, he should start failing these because Unless the button's wrong and I'm not paying attention. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, look at all those negatives. -6, yeah. So, you hit him with this, and he doesn't die, but, like, he, like, falls down in a heap. Like, unconscious.
So he like all this energy goes into Kraith's hand, and he just like sticks it into his solar plexus, and blood flies from the knight's mouth. And he just falls down, and maybe some tears of blood are coming from his eyes, and coughing.
Yep. So he's down for 10 AP. So whose turn is it? It's not actually her turn, but she, as a free action, she sees her main bodyguard go down from this blast, this massive blast from Kraith, and she kind of puts her sword kind of defensively up towards Jute, but says, I yield, you bastards.
I accept your yield. And as he's saying that, he drives a blade through the skull of the
Yeah,
large
she
knight.
like kind of flinches back. You, on your honor as a warrior, she doesn't know that you're pretty heavily armored. She says, your honor as a knight, you won't kill me.
I'm no knight. Your life depends on what answers you give me, starting with your name.
My name is Aeneas. Aeneas la Valette. I am the lady of these lands.
You are? Or Sir Boosie?
Sir Boosie, I should have known my brother would do something like this. Sending cutthroats to kill his sister?
Kraith raises his eyebrows. A brother now. Oh, Jute, how the plot thickens.
Indeed it does. I believe you have a piece of parchment that I need to collect from you.
I do have my birthright. Yes. It's actually a letter. You should break the seal and read it. It is my brother plotting against Ada, the queen-to-be of Temeria.
And why would she do or he do that against your future queen?
Because if she dies, then he can stake his claim to the throne.
Explain.
He's the bastard of King Foltest. We both are.
Are you sure you don't want this parchment so you can press your own claim?
For the crown, no. For these lands, they are mine, I would agree. I am the eldest, but because he has a cock between his legs, he's the lord? I think not. He is a half-wit, weak.
And yet he pays. Why, if he is such a weakling, do you hide in this cave?
Because we were trying to escape to get to Vizima, so we could deliver this parchment to the king and the princess. You could help me still, even though you've killed my men, if you wish to ingratiate yourself to the king. Otherwise, you've chosen a side.
And he kind of takes the parchment and breaks the seal and reads it.
Yeah, it was she wrenches it out of the saddlebag and gives it to you. And yeah, it's basically plans for Boosie to kill Foltest and Ada, and it is written in his hand and it has some sort of seal on it. You recognize the the heraldry he had on his his tabard is the same as this, and hers is she actually has it on her as well, but it's backwards. It's like a eagle and a lion, and her eagle is on the right side, and his was on the left, and it's like a wax seal from some sort of signet ring.
Man, which king is he seeking the help of?
He's seeking to get rid of.
Kill
Wants to. Yeah.
Cultists.
He wants to kill Tholtus and his
Yes,
daughter
yes.
Ada. But who is he sending the letter to? I'm sorry.
It was Radovid,
Okay.
Redania, to the north.
Do we care about any of this, Jute? How involved do we want to get?
Well, if there's a war to be had, there's plenty of money for mercenaries to do
Right.
assorted things.
That mercenaries who go back on their contract. She shakes her head. That's
There's
risky business.
Always the question of which horse to back in a race.
That's true.
Either way, that little boy bastard's gonna want blood for his money. Whether we help you, my lady, or not, we expect to get paid.
Well, what he can pay you is certainly less than what Radovid can pay you. Since we are blocked from going south, perhaps we can go north. It is...
And you would be so fickle to look past our slaughter of your friends and men? And dogs! I'm sorry about the mess.
They are my men, my servants, my soldiers. Mercenaries, even. They're paid to die.
Nobles are such charming creatures, aren't they?
Is the story about Ada, is that well known?
I
Is
would say
all
that is not
secret?
known at all.
I didn't
Unless
think
you
so.
roll knowledge and get desperate, whatever that is.
I will, and promptly fail horribly, so...
If you want my input, Jute, I'll tell you right now. That young bastard wasn't honest with us. This isn't a second, third, fourth cousin. It's his blood and sister.
Well, he did say kin. He didn't say how close of a kin.
Did he say like a third distant
I don't
cousin or
know.
something?
What do you remember him saying?
That's what I remember him saying.
You said cousin.
He said cousin, he did.
Did
He
he?
didn't say sister. He didn't say sister. I'm just saying. He was dishonest to us at least once. Perhaps we can play both sides of the coin.
I have one question for you, Anise. Are you familiar with Baron Lambert?
Let me see. Let me see if she is or not. She shakes her head. Never heard of him.
Well then, I guess you're no good to me.
Wait! If you come with me to Redania, whatever my brother gives you, the king would give you 20 times that over.
And you can guarantee this how?
Because if you get this to the king of Redania, then he can back a horse. He can kill both my brother and Foltest.
Perhaps we can send Sylar back to the camp with a message that we're pursuing them across the river.
You wouldn't kill me in cold blood, would you?
Oh yeah, I would, but Jute's the captain here. But my point is, if we wanted to do as this woman suggests and trust in the generosity of a king who's renowned for his fickleness, well, I wouldn't want her brother to know that we were doing it.
Or we can go south to Foltest. He certainly would have the money to pay you.
You said the king of Redania had a daughter. Is that what I heard?
No, this Foltest here.
Foltest's
Yes,
daughter.
Ada the White, they call her now.
And why do they call her that?
She has white hair.
Ah, how original.
She shrugs. I didn't come up with it. This is my idea. We try to get south to Vizima. We know that Foltest will want this information. This is why I was going. He will reward you well. And if you need to find this Baron, the king certainly will know who they are. But if you kill me now, or take this back to my brother, then you've chosen the side of rebellion, and if Foltest finds out, then he will kill you all. He will mobilize an army. I suggest coming with me to Vizima. We can figure out who this person is that you are seeking, hopefully for good or ill, but I sense that it might be for ill. And perhaps the king would even give this person to you for thanks for what you've done here. For bringing this proof of treachery. That's better than... How much gold did my brother give you?
That is not your concern.
Well then, Elf, I suppose you need to decide. Side with King Foltest or side with my brother? Let me ask you, did the 16-year-old boy look like he was going to survive a civil war and a revolt against Foltest? She shrugs. If you're going to kill me like a soldier. And she kind of like starts to undo her breastplate to expose her neck so you can drive the tip of your sword down.
He does so. I'm going to play off my prejudice.
Yeah, how does it look as you execute
Without
her?
hesitation, he takes the tip of his sword, driving it through the exposed part into her flesh, staring at her all the while with probably a hatred few of the people of the Black Company have seen, and lets her collapse on the ground. He kind of looks to his comrades and let Temeria burn.
Othmir had his manacles that he was getting out in his hand, and he watches her body fall to the ground, and then he smiles and shakes
Put those
his head.
away.
Then he puts them back in his belt. Well, that solves it.
Aye. Fuck the nobles. But what are we going to do with that? She points to the parchment.
Well, I don't know anything about nobles and their schemes, but if this Sir Boosie thinks he can overthrow the king, I don't think he'd be so foolish to do it without some sort of plan. The question is do we take this back to him, collect the second half of reward, and see how serious he is about claiming the throne?
I don't know how wise it is to get more involved. I agree with collecting our money, but perhaps we should leave Temeria.
Not yet.
Well, I
Trust
agree with Devnet. We can take our money. We can spend our money. But now we have this. And Kraith kind of points to his head. I know you killed that bright bitch. I don't doubt that she was telling the truth, though, Jute. You know her sense about these things. That 16-year-old bastard, he lied to us to get us into this fucking cave.
Would you have taken the job if he said, hey, go kill my sister?
I'm going to take any job that pays me coin, Jute. That's the type of man I am nowadays. Fools. Fuck the wars. All I want is a books and lass to lie with, a warm bed, and a belly full of ale. Like I said, I'm a shit maze, Jute.
You've managed to save me and everyone else with that shield of yours. I'd hardly call you shit. Ugly, yes. Shit, no.
You saved all our arses. But, does DevNet know why Jute wants to stay in
That's up to
Temerian,
him.
or is she
I think
just
it's up to him.
confused?
He has not shared that just yet.
She's looking at him funny. Well, you seem to have some reason for wanting to stay. And she looks down at the corpse of the woman on the ground. I'm willing to hear it out. And you're the captain. So why don't we talk about it as we head back? We've got to get word to the company one way or the other.
We should probably research this cave.
Aye. What am I thinking?
Got loot.
Yeah. We gotta loot.
Loot the bodies, then throw them down any hole you can find in that cave. Then we'll return to this would-be usurper, and we'll talk about it on the way back.
I think we can decide exactly what we want to do in between sessions.
Exactly. Go ahead and
Yeah.
roll just real quick. Go 2d100. Exploding. Oh wait, no, that wouldn't do this. Instead, do 20d10 exploding. That's how much currency points you find. 118 worth of stuff that you can carry. You can't carry all the armor and stuff out because it's just.
Well, if there's any more horses,
there is
we can put it on the
there is
horse.
one horse in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're up to 718.
Yeah, you keep track of that.
Yeah, I'll be right. I got that.
Yeah, that's with what you can carry out with horses too. There probably are some horses for the shitty guys. They had to try to get all the way to
Just
Vizima,
pack
so
animals.
yeah, which is 30 miles away. And that's where we'll end it. You head north to link up with the rest of the Black Company, and that's it.
Nice.
Good set.